All right, 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM listeners. We got the one, the only. We got West Coast's own. We got Cadazone, also known as J Sativa. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, brother. I'm good. How y'all doing out there, man? Appreciate you having me on your show, man. How y'all doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to stay clear of all this COVID stuff going on, man. It's taking the world by storm
Telling
currently
you.
right now.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. That's the main thing going on right now, bro. Keep your head above water, man.
Most definitely, man. But I gotta ask you, dude, like from the beginning, man, back in the simpler times, like what made you decide to get into the music industry?
Well, I started at an early age. Music runs in my family. It's pretty much in my blood. My grandfather played with James Brown. Also with Sly Stone, because I'm from Beloit, California. A lot of people don't know the history of Beloit. We got a lot of history out here. So it started back then, and then growing up listening to 80s music as far as like hip hop, LL Cool J, and we on the West Coast, so I'm listening to that and just started writing, man, and picked it up like it was no big deal. I think I wrote my first rhyme at the age of 8.
Damn, with your first rhyme at the age of 8, did you ever get the opportunity to take that paper and actually turn it into a song, or?
Nah, man, I still remember it though. You know what? It was so corny, bro, that I couldn't even put it out.
Hey, man, I'm pretty sure if you would have like kind of put it out when you were like 13 or 14, people would have been like, ah, you know what I mean? They probably wouldn't have said much, but I think now, you might want to leave that one on the back burner.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Because it's a different time now. That was like '80s, so the rhymes was real corny. It's like pop, kind of poppy. You know what I'm saying?
And you
So,
had like the like kind of like the
it's
80s
don't
hair
get.
band music in the background as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
But also, man, you're the CEO of the sorry MOS Entertainment. How did you actually
Yes,
get?
sir.
How did that record label come to be? And like, what made you decide to start your own company?
Okay, so a long time ago, shout out to my mom, R.I.P. Latanya Span. That's my mom, my best friend. She passed away, and when I was rapping, before she passed, she was like telling me I was trying to sign with all these labels and trying to even understand the game. You know what I'm saying? So, but she told me before she passed away, it's best for you to get your own shit. That's exactly what she said. It's best for you to have your own shit. So I had this little thing going on. I fell out with one of my producers when I was younger. You know, not knowing, like I said, not knowing the game, being a knucklehead at the young age. And I stepped back and I was like, it's best for me to get my own shit. So it was MOS, my own shit entertainment.
And man, that's actually a really, really catchy name. Actually, you know what I mean? Like my own shit, man. Like that's actually simple, easy, but effective. You know what I'm asking? Like, who's currently signed to you, or is it just strictly you?
It's just strictly me, man. I mean, I'm working with a few other artists, but right now it's just strictly me. Pretty much just a single label, just for myself to put my own thing out and do what I got to do. We got clothing and things like that. 'Cause we got an umbrella, but pretty much just me on my own record label, man.
Hey, man. Sometimes working alone is the best route to go, man.
Believe me, it is. Believe me, and sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. You know, we do a collab or something different, you know, but yeah, I control everything, you know what I'm saying? I run everything. I know when my release dates come out, I can release them. I have a panel of people to listen to my music to tell me if I should release this one, if I shouldn't do that one, what videos I should do, you know, so it's real cool, man.
And also taking you back to your adolescent days and whatnot, man. Back when you were younger. But at the age of 17, you were actually performing with the R&B group Infinity. I want to ask, how did you get connected with them? Like, what's the story behind Infinity?
Oh my God. Okay, so how did that happen? Okay, I worked at my uncle. This is a long story. My uncle worked in Oakland. He got me a job in Oakland. We were doing maintenance. One of his friends at the time, his name was Donnie Sutton, and he was a singer. He was a DJ for the group Infinity. So he was like, "Hey man, why don't you come out here with me? You know what I'm saying? Come sit down. You know, come check out the show." Get out of work one day, I go out there, and I was go to a few shows. And after a while, people thought I was with the group because it was the R&B group, so they were doing like Motown and stuff like that, and like funk, you know. And they were like, "I'm not with the group. I'm a rapper." So they was like, "Okay." So what ended up happening was the main guy, which is my brother right now, like Damon Williams. This is like my bro, right? The main guy right now, he's in Tennessee. Was like, "Man, why don't you rap? Come do something." So I started doing rap the band got bigger. We traveled around the Bay Area a lot. And I started rapping. When we got to Richmond, it really blew up from there. And I got back on the Vallejo. It really started kicking off from there, man.
Like, I was going to ask, is Infinity still around today, or was that just something that was going on back in the day?
Back in the day, like probably like the mid 2000s. And then it kind of everybody just did their own thing. You know, people grew up and went their separate ways and had families. You know, I mean, but each one of those individuals in that group are still doing solo projects.
And that's the one thing I also notice about today's music industry as well. There's not a lot of groups out there. There's R&B artists, but there's not very many groups, even within hip hop.
Oh man, you know what it is? I think it's a lot of like creative differences. You know what I mean? Because I know with myself, man, if I had two of me, it'd be a problem. I got creative differences. I mean, and even with my manager, my best friend, me and her butt heads sometimes. Even though I know she's right, and I be like, well, no, but you know, it's hard to do that. You know, so I think that's a lot of the reason why you don't see a lot of groups anymore. And the ones that still stick together, I'm sure they've been through it too. You know what I mean?
Oh, most definitely. There's always egos in any group, no matter what genre of music it is.
Exactly. From old school to now, man. Even back in the 50s, 40s, you know, Frank Sinatra, all that.
And also, you actually created your own unique style for your music, which is also referred to as hood funk. Can you tell us a bit more about that, and what made you decide to name your own style of music hood funk?
Um, how hood funk started? Okay, so a long time ago. I don't know. I'm sure you know. Okay, you know Rodney on Joe Cooley.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
You know Roger Zapp. Then you know Parliament Funkadelic. You know Ice Cube. If you put all those, even Digital Underground, if you look at all those, they all had a similar style, which was funk. You know what I'm saying? They sampled from Parliament. They sampled from Roger and Zapp. So what happened was, I'm from the hood. You know what I'm saying? The Vallejo. So I'm like, let me give him some of this hood. But I grew up listening to funk. My mom, we had 45s and LPs in the house. We might not have had a TV at the time in the 80s. But my mom always kept albums and LPs in the house. So me as a little kid, going to that record player, just spinning. I mean, every day, man. I would come home, do my homework, and go to the record player. Spin old school, listen to funk. And my grandfather was telling me a lot of this stuff too. Like, listen to funk, listen to this, listen to the drum right here, this bass line, because he was in the music. He played the drums. So what ended up happening was I wrote. My boy told me, why don't you come out with a mixtape? My boy Carlos Salazar, my brother, he said, come out with a mixtape. He said, do it like old school, like Rodney on Joe Cooley did. And I was listening to Rodney on Joe Cooley, and I'm like, you know, I can do this, and it's time to bring this back out, because that was like 80s. So this is like 2004, I think, 2002, something like that. And I'm like, let me go ahead and do it. So how hood funk came about, it was funk music with my hood rhymes. So I called it hood funk. I got like four series? Yeah, four of the series right now.
That's crazy, you know what I mean? And that's cool that you actually have your own style as well, you know? It just shows that you're authentic.
I'm trying to be, man. I'm
And,
trying
and,
to tell people that's the one.
and you know what? I hate. It's good to also though. In today's music industry, man, it's not that hard to be authentic because unfortunately, everybody sounds the same. You know, so if you come with your own style, you're most definitely gonna stand out like a sore thumb. But that's good.
But you know, you correct. I listen to a lot of rap too. You know, of course, I got to listen to the street, listen to the music and stuff that's going on. So I hear a lot of similarities. What happened with me was like I never changed my style. It was like I remember I had, you know, you got your haters and you got your naysayers, and they telling you, man, you got to change this up, switch it up, switch it up. I listened to them, but I kept going back to myself. I only could be true to myself. You know what I'm saying? So when I write, I got a certain way to write. I got a certain way I hear things. Some people might write off of a bass line. I'll do that sometimes. I might write off of a clap. You know what I'm saying?
And also, your first released project was called Asylum Mixtape Volume Number One. I have to ask you, can you tell us a bit more about that project? And is it still available, like on the internet, to be streamed or purchased today?
Asylum mixtape, man, that was that one time thing we did. That was me touching the water. Basically, so if I don't know if it's still out there or not. I know I have to master it around here somewhere. Um, but it was just me touching the water and taking a lot of new people's beats. So it was like Jay-Z stuff on there, you know, stuff like that. Just me touching it, trying to do a mixtape, trying to get out there, let people know I rap. I'm not sure if it's still out there, but it's a classic. You know, it's classic to me because I think, matter of fact, I put out Cadazone's Greatest Hits, and I think a few of those songs made it on there.
Oh, that's not bad. Like, that's pretty cool though. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know you actually had the greatest hits. Like, what made you decide to actually do that?
After I came out with my 10th album, we sat back and was like, you know what? Just give ourselves some time for the people who didn't hear all the stuff that I did. Just give them a little collection of what I did to put it out there to let them know. You know what I'm saying? Let them know what I'm doing and what I'm involved in and who I am. You know, so, and plus gave me more time to work on other projects. You know what I'm saying?
And also on another mixtape that I noticed when I was doing the research for this, you also have been featured on So Music's Facelift mixtape. I have to ask you, how did you get connected with So Music?
Okay, so what happened with Soul Music was I did a song with a rapper by the name of Mr. Perfect at the time. Um, what song was that? It wasn't Hustle My Swag. I can't even think of the song. That's crazy. But anyway, we recorded this song. Mr. Perfect's from Vallejo. So at the time I was doing shows, me and him at a radio station called Ozcat. I was like, man, get on a song. He had moved out to the Midwest. And he told me his producer and his manager at the time was named Face. And I called Face, like, Face. He hit me up. He was like, oh, you cut it on, you know. And I'm like, yeah. We and him connected. And he was like, hey, he's going to do your song. I said, cool. I heard him, and he raps too. And I'm like, man, why don't you get on the track? And he was like, okay, okay. So he got on the track, man, and it's been magic ever since. That's my dude, man. Like, me and him close. I go to Vegas, we link up. Anytime I got a issue or a project coming out I need some help with, that's the dude right there, man. So shout out to Face, man.
Hey man, you know what? Sometimes making a phone call can spark a friendship, man. You know what I mean? One phone call and boom.
That's all it took, man. That's all it took. And he's a good dude, man. I got a lot of friends and music connects I made like that. So you correct with that, bro.
Is the facelift mixtape actually still available? Like actually to purchase it all?
I believe so. You have to go check on his website. I don't have access to that. I think I just did the one track on there with him. As far as I know, it's still available though.
And also in 2010, you actually released one of my favorite records of yours. Is that called "Welcome to California"? I have to ask you, what's the inspiration behind that amazing record? Because man, that's some absolute fire from start to finish.
Man, I appreciate that love, man. I appreciate it. Welcome to California. I was going through a lot of stuff at that time. My life was changing. You know, sometimes you go through ups and downs. And what I do for my listeners, my fans, I like to give them the real me. I don't like to sugarcoat and lie to them. Um, I was going through a lot of stuff at that time. So Welcome to California, if you heard the beginning track of me going to Kaiser Hospital and the ambulance and all that, it was like me snapping. I passed out a few times, all kinds of stuff. You know, I was giving them the real me. I was going through a stressful point in my life. I put that album together, I believe, in 6 months. Yeah, about 6 months. I put the album together. I was writing like crazy. It just came to me. But I was taking you through a journey of California. What I call California is my world, you know, inside of my brain. So welcome to California. That's how it was, man.
And also, before we move off the topic of that record, like directly after this interview, I'm going to be spinning one of my favorite tracks from that record called "They Don't Know." I was wondering if you could break down that song for our audience. That way, when I play it live on the radio station for everybody, they can be able to wrap their head around the track just a little bit more.
They don't know. When I wrote They Don't Know, matter of fact, I'm sitting in the studio right now. I wrote it in. When I wrote They Don't Know, I heard first I started off with the beat. I heard that beat. And I don't even remember where I got it from. A producer sent me some beats, and I'm like, oh my god! And I heard the beginning there, oh, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
And I just started writing. You know, I swang in the winter, hustle in the snow. You know what I'm saying? I did that because I was really out here hustling, man. Like out here, I'm sure you know too. Back in the '90s, I'm still got that '90 mentality where you can sling out the trunk. I was selling CDs and stuff out the trunk, like pushing hard. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, I swang in the winter, hustle in the snow. You know, niggas want to see up all Cadazone go. You know, so I was just kind of riding off of that, and then the flow just came out like. Well, sometimes when I write, man, I get into this trance where I'll write and I don't even know I wrote it. So I remember recording that, and we sat back and was like, "Oh, this is a song. This is a cut right here. You know what I'm saying? This is the jam." So it was a dope record, man. We had fun making that too.
And also, you recently just released the EP called Portrait of a King. I have to ask you, what's the inspiration behind that EP? And of course, where can our listeners buy or stream themselves a copy?
Okay, so Portrait of the King came about. Um, I knew I had that in the works already. I just didn't. I had the first song I believe was Miracle Whip. I had already for the album for the EP. I'm still not done. I got two more songs coming for the EP, but so the first track I had was Miracle Whip. Then my boy Tokyo Swiss, I hit him up like, man, I need some beats. What's up? What you got? He's a producer, and also he's the producer for my video boss as well. It's on YouTube. He sent me the boss beat after that, and I was just like, okay. So I'm listening to this, and I'm like, I'm a king. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing. I've been at this grind for so long. I'm from the hood. I've been showing people, displaying people. It's been 20 plus years. I'm a king at this. So the picture you see on Portrait of a King is just me looking up like, I'm the king. You know what I'm saying? So Boss came around, and Boss is the single right now that we pushing. Like I said, it's on YouTube right now. It's 10,000 plus views right now. Shout out to everybody who viewed that. And we still got two more coming. So stay tuned with that. Also, you can find me on for the Portrait of a King EP. You can be on. It's on Spotify right now. It's on Google Music, Google Play, Apple Music, Deezer, Reverb Nation. You can find it everywhere, man. Google Cadazone is out there.
And also, on May 21st, I noticed that you actually held a COVID-19 Instagram live concert. I have to ask you, man, what was that experience like? And, like, was it difficult actually doing, like, a live feed concert? Because I've heard some mixed reviews. People actually like it, other people dislike it.
Um, you know what? I'm an artist, so I gotta get out there and perform. So anytime I can get in front of a camera and display my talents and show people what I got going on and the new things I got, I'm with it. Whether it's inside, whether it's outside. For me, I think it's a little bit more easier to do the little COVID concert by itself because I don't have to. You don't have to deal with the overhead. You know what I'm saying? All the other stuff you got to deal with. I can just set it up in my house, make sure my music's right, have everything controlled, the lighting right, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So it's I will really prefer to be in front of fans, but if I can, I prefer people watching me. All eyes are better than none. You know what I'm saying?
And that's most definitely true. Like, when you did the concert, was it to raise money for COVID-19, or was it just actually just to entertain people?
It was actually to entertain people and keep their minds, on something more than the COVID thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I was watching TV and looking at the news and social media, and a lot of people were stressed out. And my thing is, I like to help people. You know what I'm saying, with my music, even though it might be hood or ghetto or whatever. I like helping people. You know what I'm saying? My boy Connor Brown, shout out to my boy Connor Brown, hit me up and told me his music got through a lot of time. So helping people is really, really my main goal for that. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what? I want to say this though quickly, man. Like, I want to commend you for doing stuff like that because a lot. I know a lot of artists have been doing it, but you know what I mean. You guys have really been putting on shows and really have been taking our mental states away from this whole COVID shit for a couple hours, man. So I got to say thank
Yeah, man.
you for just doing that.
Yeah, no problem, man. I appreciate you too, man. I mean, we got to keep it moving. We get the COVID. I mean, we not. It's not over. We still fighting. We still human. We still love each other. You know what I'm saying? And we got a whole bunch of other shit to go through. So we just got to keep on fighting, man.
Almost definitely. Hopefully it's over soon, but you know what I mean. If not, we can all pull together and hopefully, in a way, make the world a better place. If we, you know what I
Yeah,
mean, in a
hopefully.
way.
Hopefully. Look, we'll see if it's over soon. Ain't no telling, bro.
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, man. But I gotta ask you, like, what's next for you, man? Like, is there anything else you want to promote? Anything I happen to miss during this interview that you still want to let our audience know about?
I mean, well, right now, basically, just I got a couple more videos coming up. I got another project coming up pretty soon, right after this one. I'm working on, so it's not gonna come right after that. But All the listeners and the audience, I want to say thank y'all for rocking with Cadazone. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Also, go check out that Cadazone boss video on YouTube. Also, go pick up my music on Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Reverb Nation, like I said before, and all that good stuff, man. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all.
And so, Cadazone, this is the time in the interview that I give a chance for the individual that comes on the radio station. Just a chance to give shoutouts to whomever they want to give shoutouts to. And if you can, drop them social media handles. That way our listeners can follow you and your journey if they're not already doing so.
For sure, for sure. All right, so once again, like I said, go on YouTube.com, look up Cadazone, aka Sativa. Like I said, I'm on Apple Music, iTunes. I don't think iTunes exists anymore, but Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, Deezer, Tidal, Reverb Nation. Like I said, Google my name. You spell it Cadazone. You know what I'm saying? All music sites, all social media sites. Shout out to all my people listening to your boy Cadazone. MOS Entertainment will not stop. Like I said, keep on supporting. Follow me on IG at Cadazone. Follow me on YouTube at Cadazone. You know what I'm saying? I'll see y'all soon.
I gotta say, Cadazone, thank you so much again for coming on 97.7 Outlaw Radio FM. It was an absolute honor and most definitely a privilege, and I hope down the line we can do this again soon.
Nah, I appreciate you, DJ Immortal, man. Keep rocking that music, man, and supporting us, man. Right on, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Hey, man, you're most certainly welcome, man. Have yourself a wonderful night.
You too, bro.